How to get hot girls in 15 minutes. This nigga's about to speed run how to pull a baddie. Let's do it.
Whenever I'm working with a client one-on-one, the top thing that they say is, Chad, I get cute girls, but just not hot girls. And it's such a common occurrence that I wanted to make a video about it because most guys' perception of more attractive women is very skewed. There's a lot of information out there talking about how to get hot girls, and most of it is simping. Oh, you're gonna have to take her to dinner. You know, these girls have so many options, so you gotta stand out by taking her to nice places and nice vacations, and then she'll like you. Most of it is pedestalization and simping. So let me give you the real, raw, honest truth. That's not gonna break the bank. It's not gonna make you turn into a simp. So you can start getting hot girls and not selling for girls who are built like refrigerators. Let's get into this shit.
Nigga said girls built like refrigerators. This boy's talking about plate cleaners. Bro, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not really, I feel like it's not that hard to get attractive women, bro. I feel like the better of a man that you become, like the more physically attractive and the more mentally attractive and financially stable you become as a man, you're just going to naturally get better looking women. So I feel like it's all about looking at yourself as a man, but we finna see.
Step one, you are not getting hot girls because you are not talking to enough of them. Let's be honest. How many approaches do you make a year? Most of you, it's probably none, right? So that's you're out, strike out. Next one, if you approach girls,
As far as niggas don't want to approach females, but they expect to get females. I've never understood that. You don't want to talk to women in person. You don't want to talk to women online. You're not putting up any shots, but you want to win a ring. The shit don't make sense.
okay, how many of them scare you? Where you look at her and go, oh my God, she's beautiful, right? Okay, you're out. Okay, next one. Let's see if you can make it this far. How many of you actually approach women you are scared of on a regular, at least once a week? No? There it is.
Slim to none, bro.
Like, you can honestly turn this video off right now if you wanted to, but of course I got more, cooking to do, but that's it right there. You aren't either A, approaching them at all. Two, if you approach them, it's once in a blue moon. Or three, you can't even approach girls you're scared of.
Thanks.
So most guys see an attractive woman and start making preconceived notions. They take their insecurities and they put it onto her and don't even make the approach in the first place, right? So guys, if you talk to, let's say 10 girls in a month, let's say you were just on fire, you made 10 approaches in 1 month, but 8 of those girls were built like refrigerators and 2 of those girls were actually attractive, right? Girls you wouldn't mind being seen in public with. What's gonna happen is this. When you approach those 2 hot girls, what's gonna happen is you're gonna go into it with a very nervous, shy energy.
Yeah, and they're going to pick up on that shit and they're going to reject you. And then you're going to be like, well, the 8 girls I hit up, they say yes, but the hot girls say no. Bro, yes, because one, you have a smaller sample size of attractive girls. You approach less attractive girls, which means you don't have much to go off of. And then you're not going to be nervous with girls that aren't attractive because you don't look at them as anything special.
And with this, she wouldn't want me anyway, but here I go energy. And when they reject you, you go, see, I was right. Hot girls are just harder. If I look like Chad or look like Tyrone, I had hunter eyes, it would go a lot easier, right? And the problem is you get to be right about that. And now you walk around with these notions that, oh, only Chad and Tyrone get the hot girls. Brother, talk to more of them. That's it. Most guys don't even approach girls that make them nervous and make them scared, right? If you can't do that, you'll never have a hot girl. And here's another layer to it. I'm not trying to make this video about dating apps, but it's like most of you guys don't even have good photos. Like, you don't even have photos that showcase you. So you're not approaching these hot girls. You're sure as hell aren't gonna match with them because your profile's trash. So you're right. You get to be right about this notion that hot girls are just harder to get, when in actuality, you're not putting in enough effort on dating apps. And number 2, you're not even approaching them in real life. Guys.
This is facts, bro. He's not said something I disagree with, because most of the guys I know that struggle with women, that don't get women, they don't want to put in any effort. Like, they will make up excuse after excuse of why they're not putting in the work. Oh, well, I'm just focused on me right now. Oh, I don't think it's worth it to have a girlfriend. Oh, I'm trying to get my money right. Like, my nigga, you're making excuses. You can do all the things you want to do while getting women, bro. I do it. I've done it for years now. I'm in a relationship now, so I'm chilling with it. But it's like beforehand, I did it all the time.
Being able to approach attractive women is the biggest hack, because the world now becomes your dating app. Most men are just living vicariously through dating apps to where if they don't get a match, they don't get a date that weekend, right? And it's so sad. So learn to approach women who actually scare you and start deleting all the social norms around approaching, right? Like guys will say, don't approach girls at the gym. I approach girls at the gym. Like I anywhere I see attractive women, I'm
Never
on it. I don't
understood
let
that gym
I don't
thing
let
either.
society, put parameters around where I cannot go and flirt. I'm a flirt wherever the hell I want. The second reason why you struggle to get hot girls is because you listen to women. Now, guys, a lot of times when women are giving advice, they're always speaking in a way to be politically correct, right? It's mostly men who are brash and are raw about dating advice, because we actually know what it takes to get these girls. So, for example, a girl will say, guys, like us women, we're already dating ourselves. So it's like, if you can't come into our life and provide at a higher level, then leave us alone.
Yet the guy who's blowing her back out won't even take her on the dinner date. Like, bro, fellas, y'all got to read between the lines. A lot of the things that the girls are complaining about is what works. Because why? They're dealing with guys who are doing the things they're complaining about. They're not dealing with the guys who are doing the things, because if they were, they wouldn't be complaining. Think about it. Think about it. It's that simple. If you're with a man who does the things you want, you have no reason to get online and yap or complain. But if you're only dealing with guys who aren't giving you what you want, you're going to complain.
Right? So a guy will hear that and go, well, I guess she's right. She is dating herself. Her and her friends do go out to nice restaurants. So if I want a hot girl, I have to take him to restaurants. That's it. And when he takes girls to restaurants and the date never goes the way he plans out, he's like, wait a minute. I listened to you guys. You guys said we date ourselves, so you should take us to nice places. I took her to nice places, and I still got nothing. Not a kiss, not sex, not a relationship, not nothing. Guys, it's unfortunate, but you need to date women on your terms and not listen to what they say. What do you want? Right. You want to take that girl to a regular bar and have a drink and get to know her. Maybe it's coffee. I'm against coffee, but whatever. I'm not trying to make this video about coffee dates. My point is, stop listening to women about their advice, about what they want. It's not beneficial to you, because most of the time they're lying. It's so funny. The guy that listens to their advice on YouTube or whatever the case may be, TikTok, whatever, there's a guy that listened to that video and took her out on a date. She put him in the boyfriend zone, made him wait. Then there's a guy that says, yo, meet me at drinks at 9 o'clock, and she slept with him.
This is facts. This is literally facts. I was talking to this one girl like a year and some change ago. And I took this girl on dates. I was like driving to pick her up. She didn't have a car. I was doing everything I could for her. Come to find out, and I didn't hit. Mind you, we went on like 4 dates. Never hit. The dude that she was smashing, she got caught smashing him in her parents' house. Only thing he did was come by, sit in a car with her, and they talked, and he left. I'm telling you, bro, when a woman likes you, you don't have to do much of anything.
Cold world, right? So the point is, I don't want you guys listening to women, because a lot of times they're going to lead you astray to be seen as boyfriend material or friend zone material. Another popular topic is men, stop approaching us. We don't want to be approached by you guys. You guys are creeps. So nowadays, whenever I talk about approaching, guess who's in my comments? Men. Women don't want to be approached anymore, bro. Women, I don't want to, get an assault charge or
we don't want to be approached by unattractive men.
Men
That's what they're
terrified to approach women.
If you're her type, go ahead.
From women. Women are making videos saying, we don't want to be approached by you and we don't want to be creeped out by you. So men are stepping back and saying, okay, I won't. And it's so sad, because these guys who have so much potential are now damn near opting out of dating because they can't approach a girl to save their life. And on top of that, they're scared to get an assault charge, which is crazy. And on top of that, they can't even, online date because their profile's so bad. So it's like a lot of men are incels or involuntarily celibate, not because they're choosing to be, but it's because of a skill issue. They lack approaching skills. They also lack online dating skills. So they're not getting seen in the dating market. So You need to stop listening to women on how to get women. I know it makes sense. Why wouldn't I go straight to the source? But the problem with the source is they're going to lead you astray. Because what
you ask a fisherman how to catch fish, you don't ask a fish how to catch fish. That's all I'm saying. You do with that information what you will.
Women are aroused by are things they will not tell you. They will keep that under wraps. One thing I notice when I'm on dates with girls, a common thing I hear is, oh, I had a toxic, manipulative, even physically abusive ex for 3 years. Then I dated another guy for 6 months. He was a great guy and all, but we just didn't work out. Translation, I gave 3 years of my life to a guy that mentally put me through hell. And then 6 months of my life was given to a guy that was actually good and comfortable. He was just boring. So a lot of times, guys, you can't listen to what women are saying because what they're aroused by is different. When girls say, don't approach us at the gym, translation, approach me if you're my type. When a girl says, don't approach me, period, translation, approach me if you're my type. So whenever you hear a girl say, don't do something, just think of the inverse and put, if you're my type. Don't approach us means approach me if you're my type. And here's the thing. I don't care what her type is. I'm going to approach any woman. I
was about to say that to y'all, and I bet y'all are watching wondering, like, well, how do I know if I'm her type or not? You're her type if you work on yourself and put in the work to be the best version of yourself, because most men are not doing that. You'll stick out like a sore thumb if you are.
I find attractive. If she finds me attractive, great. If not, great. I don't care. I'm very outcome independent. As long as I show up and put myself in front of her and speak to her, whatever happens next, it's not up to me. It's up to her if she finds me attractive or not. You feel me? So stop listening to women because their advice is always going to lead you astray. Do what you want. And the third and last reason why you cannot get hot girls, this is where I'm going to really cook. So first things first, attraction isn't linear. Let me break that down. So a lot of guys say, hey, if you're a 5, you're average looking, and she's an 8, that 8 will be harder to get because you're a 5 and she's an 8. That 8 wants an 8, a 9, or preferably a 10, and you're a 5. But guys, you stop thinking attraction is linear. What about how that girl sees you? That 8 may see you as an 8, right?
This is very true. Me and my girl, we were having this talk maybe a couple weeks ago, right? To me, right, I would rate my girl out of 10, 8.5. My girl, I would give her 8.5, right? To me, out of 10, I would give myself like a 7 and some change, right? So I asked her, like, we were talking about, I was like, objectively, what do you think I am 1 through 10? We were just having a conversation about rating people. And I said, when we first met, what did you think I was? And she said, 8.5 or a 9. She said higher than her, and I was like, I know for a fact. Like when you're an 8.5 and a 9 as a man, you're like, what's the nigga Thor? Like you're like him. You're like Michael B. Jordan or whoever women really like. You're like up at that level, and I know I'm not there. Like I'm working on it, but I'm not there. So it's really subjective to the girl. It really is. Like she told me she didn't think when we first met, she didn't think I would even be into her. Like. It was weird. It was really weird. So it really is like depending on the girl.
8? Exactly. Let me cook. Then there's going to be a 5, a girl who's a 5 that sees you as a 4. So guys will approach ugly girls at bars or cute.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I've been called ugly or violated by a girl, it's been an ugly girl. I rarely ever have been violated by pretty girls. Rarely ever.
Girls at bars hoping, well, she'll be easier. No, bro, just because you see her as a 5, she may see you as a 3 or a 2.
She sees herself as a 10,
right?
And she's a 3.
8 out of 10, that 9 out of 10 at that bar, she may see you as an 8 or a 9. So stop thinking that your SMV score is this thing that's universal. There's some girls who look at me and go, ooh, that's just my type. And then there's some girls who look at me and go, oh, he's too clean. Why is his hairline so straight? Why are his eyebrows so full? You know, why does his hair look so good? Like I want a guy that's a bit more chubbier. I want a guy with some sideburns coming over his ears, his mustache.
My coworker Lily told me the other day, she was talking to me randomly about like the type of guy she likes. She told me she liked fat dudes. Like there's somebody for everybody, bro. That's
over his lips. I want a dirtier looking guy. I want tattoos, right? You're not going to be everyone's type. So my point is, stop thinking that your SMV score is universal when in actuality it's fluid depending on who you're in front of, right? I may be a 10 out of 10 to this girl who I deem as a 10, and I may be a 4 out of 10 in front of this torta. So stop thinking that, I'm a 5, therefore I have to find a 5 or a 4.
No, you don't.
No, that's
Shoot
not
this
how it
out with the
works.
women you
The
like.
next thing I want to touch on is a lot of guys in the dating space say, oh, she's an 8, 9, or a 10. She has all these options, and it's just harder to get her. Therefore, you have to do more to stand out. Guys, let me tell you something. I don't want you showing up as anybody else but yourself. If you're a happy hour, drinks by your crib guy, I want you to ask that 9 or 10 to that same date. If she,
to be honest, bro, less is more with women. What I notice is, especially attractive women, like every time I've dealt with a very attractive woman, and the way I am is I'm not very clingy. I like my alone time. I'm an introvert. I like to make videos, play video games, chill here. Like I spend most of my time here, like in this room you're seeing in my apartment, a room in my apartment. I notice when I deal with a lot of attractive women, they have a problem with me in a sense of like, they'll be like, oh, I thought you didn't like me because most guys love bomb me. Most guys are clingy. Most guys are this way. Most guys are that way. And like, they'll be like, oh, I was so interested in you because you act like you just didn't really care if I liked you or not. Like it's a turn on for them. Less is more with women. Now, I'm not telling you to try to be like me or try to be different or nonchalant to get more women, but you don't have to do as much as you think, because it's like this. Let's say you're texting a girl, right? And you text her every morning, good morning. After a while, she's going to get used to that and she's not going to appreciate it as much. But let's say you text her good morning 2 days and then for a few days you barely text her. She's going to wonder, well, what's going on? Me and him aren't talking as much. She's going to crave seeing you and having your attention, and it's going to build attraction to a certain degree. Versus the guy who's texting her every day, there's no excitement when his name pops up because she knows he's going to text me.
If she comes, great. If she doesn't, great. Because I don't want you adjusting your game depending on who you're in front of. Right? This whole notion that more attractive girls require more. Says who? I guarantee you this girl you have on a pedestal, she had a boyfriend where he stayed home, paid no bills, and she was out slaving every day working for him. Don't believe me? Start asking these girls about their past exes, and you'd be flabbergasted that these guys that they were dating didn't see this girl as a dime. They saw her as maybe cute or above average.
Bro, I had an ex, bro. And at the time, I thought this girl was a 10 out of 10 at the time, right? She told me the relationship before, she was paying this dude's rent. He got the apartment in her name because he couldn't even get a place in his name, and she was paying his rent. Come on, man. Come on, man. You'd be surprised what a lot of these baddies go through.
Right? That's why this whole attraction thing is so interesting, because you see this girl as a 10, but her ex-boyfriend saw her as a 7, which is why he was able to, like, not really care, be nonchalant, right? She was paying the bills, right? So don't think that more attractive girls are harder to get. No. You should do the same exact thing, run the same exact play for every single girl. Because when you get caught up in this notion that this attractive girl is harder to get, you become right about it. Let me tell you something. You guys see a black man, right? I'm a black guy, right? I don't believe in any type of systemic racism. The white man's holding me down. No. Now, mind you, could all those things be true? Yes. But I don't believe in anything that takes my power away.
Only thing it does is limit you, bro. People who be like, oh, the white man, oh, this, oh, that. Like, bro, shut up. Like, you have an opportunity to make something of yourself. Just take it. This time that you're wasting to complain, you could be doing something to better yourself. Because a white person has never directly stopped me from getting something I want. Most of the time I want something, I normally get it. Because I might fail a few times getting it, but I'm going to keep trying until I get it. Simple as that.
So
simple
I don't believe hot girls are harder to get, because here's what happens. You see a girl at a bar that's really hot and you go, you know what? She'd be harder to get. I probably have to buy her bags and pay her rent. I'm not going to go talk to her. I'm going to go talk to this girl over here that's average looking. Meanwhile, that girl who's a dime thought you were very attractive. Meanwhile, that girl you thought was a 5, she thinks you're a 4 or a 3. So you actually have better luck going up to that girl who's...
And the thing about thinking you have to spend a lot of money on bad females is most dudes don't make money. Most guys are not touching bread. So y'all get on the internet and hear like, oh well, these baddies on Fresh and Fit podcast are saying they need a guy that's gonna pay their rent, bro. Let's be real for a second here. These women, most of the time, they're not getting their rent paid, and if they are, it's only a small percentage. It's the same guys cycling the same women.
Was a dime because she actually finds you more attractive, right? So I don't believe that hot girls are harder to get. I think what's hard to get is a girl who doesn't find you attractive, because a lot of guys run game where they're just persistent, right? Date 1, date 2, date 3, they keep grinding until they get sex. For me, I don't run that game. I only mess with girls who find me attractive. Because when girls find you attractive, they're much more compliant. Their schedule's easier to get. They're much better to be with on dates. Escalation's much easier. But when a girl doesn't like you, her availability is free 1 week, it's not free the next. Escalation's a bitch. She wants you to do all the investing, come to her side of town. Like, this is only girls that are hard to get are girls that don't find you attractive. Guys, that's it. That's it. That's the sauce right there.
I'm gonna end the video right here. I'm gonna end it on this note. I'm gonna say this, fellas. The way to get good-looking women or attractive women or whatever is to work on yourself, become the most attractive man that you can become internally and externally. Approach them. And whenever you ask her on a date, if she makes it easy for you to see her and easy for you to just vibe with her, she's not making you take her to dinner, she's not having all these crazy requirements for you, she likes you, and that's how you get them. If she's making you jump through hoops, she doesn't like you. Dating 101, simple as that. I hope y'all enjoyed. This is a great video by Defund Simping. Shout out to the bro. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.